believe alcohol is valuable, your system will bend to make it easy to access. Really, really important that you get that. And if you don't, email me at thestrivemethod@gmail.com so I can ram it into your head, because this is really important. Because this is how the liquid light keeps you trapped. It sells alcohol as a reward, as value, for stress, for success, for pain. Insert your value in these brackets, right? Like, alcohol is a reward. And once you buy into that belief, your habits, your social circle, even your identity will work really hard to reinforce it. But alcohol isn't a reward. It's Muda. What if I told you that alcohol doesn't give you anything? It just gets in the way. That every time you raise a glass to reward yourself, you're not celebrating progress. You're rewarding the part of you that wants to stay the same. The story that we've been told, that alcohol is a treat, that it has value, that it is pleasurable, a well-earned indulgence, it's nothing but a lie. It is a self-sabotaging system. And the sooner you tear it down, the sooner you get your life back. Welcome to the 1000 Days Sober podcast. My name is LeeDavy. I am not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who lives a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck. And I spend every waking moment of that life helping other people do the same, like right now. Welcome to another daily episode of the 1000 Days Sober podcast. I hope that they are helping you to get through each day without drinking alcohol, because you deserve it. You deserve to be alcohol-free as fuck. You deserve to live a self-led life. This episode today, it is part of our weekly book highlight series, where I take a highlight or a concept from a book that I'm reading and show how it maps to living a self-led life alcohol-free as fuck. Today's spark came from Alan Dibb's book, Lean Marketing. But it's not the first time I have learned about lean principles. Actually, the first time I learned about them was way back on the railway when I read The Machine That Changed the World by Womack, Jones and Roos. And it was really interesting, actually. There's a corollary. Corollary? Is that how you say it? You know what I mean, right? There's a parallel. There's a better word. There's a parallel between this, me learning lean principles on the railway, and being alcohol-free as fuck. And that is that when I first learned about lean principles by understanding and learning how the Toyota production system became more powerful, safer, and more profitable than Ford in the car manufacturing space, when I learned those principles and I tried to install them into the railway, my leaders did not like it at all. I was the red fish swimming this way, and all the blue fish were swimming this way. It was the contrarian view to introduce lean principles into the railway. In the same way that you're a red fish swimming this way, trying to live a life alcohol-free as fuck and self-led, and all the other people who are not are the blue fish. You are the contrarian thinker, right? And it's funny, I had a cup of tea with a friend of mine. Actually, he had a pint, but I had a cup of tea a while ago now. And I asked him how the railway was operating now that I was no longer there. And he said, Lee, you'll laugh. He said, do you remember the fight you had to get lean principles into the railway? Well, it's everywhere and everybody's doing it. And hopefully the same will happen here, right? That this contrarian view of living a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, in the future, people won't be fighting against it. They will be welcoming it in, right? Have a quick cup of tea. Earl Grey, the best. So, lean principles, very powerful, and I've used them in my life a lot. In fact, the Strive method was first called Lean Life because I use these principles to help people live a lean life. Today, it's a self-led life, right? And one of the main things that Lean taught me is about value. And this is what this podcast is all about today, right? Is that value is defined by the customer. Not by the engineer, not by the system, not by the tradition, right? By the customer. And when I realized that I was the customer of my own life, I could start incorporating lean principles into my life. For example, I left the railway because I didn't value it. Like, turning up to work for money wasn't one of my values. I didn't see that as value. Like going to work and spending 12 hours a day at this place, I just didn't value it, right? When I became alcohol free as fuck, I walked away from my relationships that I felt were a bit shallow because, again, I didn't value having shallow relationships. And as you know, I let go of alcohol because it had zero value to the version of me that was chasing freedom, connection, and wanted to make a bigger impact in the world. And here's the thing: if you believe that alcohol is valuable, your system will bend to make it easier to access, right? Think about that. I'm going to repeat it again, right? In a minute. But what I learned through lean principles is when you understand that the customer defines value, then you create the system that allows the customer to easily pull value towards them through your system, right? And remove everything else that gets in the way. So if you really value alcohol, if you think that it is nice, natural, normal, necessary, and noble, you will create a system, your life, that is designed to allow alcohol to easily flow to you because that is what you value. If you value alcohol, it's going to flow to you. So if you believe alcohol is valuable, your system will bend to make it easy to access. Really, really important that you get that. And if you don't, email me at thestrivemethod@gmail.com so I can ram it into your head, because this is really important. Because this is how the liquid lie keeps you trapped. It sells alcohol as a reward, as value, for stress, for success, for pain. Insert your value in these brackets, right? Like alcohol is a reward. And once you buy into that belief, your habits, your social circle, even your identity will work really hard to reinforce it. But alcohol isn't a reward. It's Muda. What is Muda? Muda is another term that you learn in lean principles, and it comes from Japan. And in lean terms, Muda is waste. And the way they describe it in lean principles is waste is useless motion, walking from here to there for no reason whatsoever. Excess inventory, we have too much stuff. Overproduction, we've produced too much stuff that we can't sell. Defects, delays, this is Muda, it's waste. So what you do is you define what you value in life, and everything else that doesn't connect to value, everything you're doing that is not aligned with your value, is either non-value added waste, i.e., I have to do this, like I have to do this at the moment, but it's not valuable to me. So a good example is maybe you really value spending time with your family. That is value, right? But you also work down the local Tesco's and you really don't like it, but it is value added because you're actually making money, but it's not the real value in your life. So what you're doing is you have to do it, but you find a different way to earn money because it doesn't provide you with value. The railway was a way for me to make money. It was non-value added. It wasn't my true value. My true value was helping people to quit alcohol, but I needed to make money on the railway to enable myself to do that, right? And then Muda is like real waste, right? This is like just stuff you do not have to do. And alcohol falls into that. Eating sugar falls into that. Watching TV could be Muda, like watching 90 minutes of football where nothing happens is Muda, right? So identifying where Muda is in your life is really important, because anything that doesn't provide value is going to be Muda. Alcohol creates nothing, right? It is Muda. It delays your goals, it fogs your clarity, and it costs you presence, power, and peace. The pain you feel when you stop drinking alcohol, it isn't because you stop drinking alcohol. It doesn't come from alcohol. It's from realizing that you've designed your life around something that never had alcohol to begin with. It's a really difficult confrontation. And that's why people who are alcohol free as fuck, like myself and a load of other strivers listening to this, who have been through the Strive method, this is why they don't miss alcohol. This is why they don't crave it. Because when you realize that it has no value, it's not that hard to let it go. It's the belief that binds you. Break the belief and you break the system. Okay, we're going to take a short break, but before we do, ask yourself, if you were your own customer, What is your life optimized to deliver? Are you building towards joy, intimacy, and peace? Or are you just lubricating the friction of your own pain with a liquid that keeps you stuck? Let that settle. Let that sting. Welcome back to the 1000 Days Sober podcast, where we are talking today about the false promise of alcohol as a reward and how to redesign your life to deliver the real value that you want out of life. Lean systems are beautiful because they pull value towards a customer with as little resistance as possible. Now imagine that's your life and ask yourself, is the value that you want out of life flowing freely to you? When you wake up in the morning, is it flowing freely to you? When you go to bed at night, have you looked back on your day and thought, yeah, the value really flowed freely to me today? Or are you throwing alcohol into the pipes and wondering why nothing works? Because here's what alcohol really is in your system of life. It is overproduction, emotions that you can't process, just spilling over because you're not dealing with them because you keep drinking alcohol. It's delay, dreams deferred to another day when the hangover wears off, when you get your shit together, right? So it's delay, another form of Muda. It's defects, right? False beliefs that you are not enough without alcohol, that you need alcohol to function. Defects, false beliefs, all Muda, pure waste. So what do? Well, you start over. And instead of existing in a life of defaults, you start to design an entirely new life. And that starts by identifying what you actually do value. When I got to 35 years of age and decided to be alcohol free as fuck, I had never asked this question. What is it that I value in life? Because I was on automatic pilot. It might be the first time that you've ever asked this question, and it's very powerful. What do you actually value? Not what culture conditioned into you, not what your parts whisper to you to soothe your pain, but what does your self truly long for? Then you design that life to pull the value in with as little friction as possible. That's what Strive and the Strive method helps you do. Not by slapping a patch on or a band-aid or handing out sobriety chips, but by rewarding your entire or rewiring your entire reward system. We help you remove the alcohol-shaped waste from your system and replace it with purpose-shaped reward. You stop fighting alcohol because it stops looking like it has anything at all that you want. It has no value. You stop craving it because you filled your life with things that actually matter. That is the power of living a self-led life, alcohol free as fuck. It is not deprivation. It is not control. It is just 100% pure alignment. Strive isn't a support group. It's a system upgrade, a blueprint for a life where value flows and the waste gets left behind. Today's value. Today's daily vow. Today I will not drink because alcohol holds zero value for the life that I am building, because I deserve a real reward, not false comfort, because I am the customer of my life and I am finally delivering what matters. The biggest lie the liquid lie sells is that alcohol is the prize at the end of the pain. But the real reward doesn't come in a bottle or a pint glass. It comes in alignment, in building a life that reflects what you truly care about. So stop paying for the waste and start investing in the value. And you go about your day today, and I hope it is as beautiful as mine is going to be in Cardiff today. Take a moment to reflect on these questions. What do I currently believe is my reward at the end of the day? Where did that belief come from? And what real value am I denying myself by holding onto it? Feel free to email me at thestrivemethod@gmail.com, or you can find me on social media at LeeDavyCoaching and let me know what you came up with, right? Let's strip out the waste and build systems that really serve us, okay? All right, that is all I got time for today. I hope you enjoyed our book highlight, Alan Dibb, Lean Marketing. Really good book. If you're into marketing, go out, buy it. If you just want to learn more about lean principles in general, The Machine That Changed the World is a really, really good book. But probably the better book is Lean Principles, again by Womack, Jones, and Roos. It can really help you to understand how to optimize your life, how to optimize your businesses. It's fantastic, right? So go out and get them. You can find them on Amazon. Please rate and review the show. Let other strivers find their way to this wonderful place where we reveal the liquid lie. Subscribe so you never miss a hint of daily truth. And if you are ready to stop chasing fake rewards and start pulling the value towards you, if you want help to and guidance in order to create your life, build design a new life, not live one by default, then Strive Method is perfect for you. Just get hold of www.thestrivemethod.com, join the waiting list there to join the stock phase, and we'll help you as much as we can. Much love and strive on, and remember today, you do not need to drink because alcohol has zero value. Deep down, you know it. Much love.